Hey Baz.
Hi, how are you?
Good to see you again.
Thank you.
Hey, remind us who you are and what you do.
Yeah, I work for Anglicare and I teach pastoral care. And in this instance, we're talking about pastoral care on the phone in the midst of this challenging time for us as a country.
Let's talk about times when we're actually not on the phone, when we're in maybe self-isolation, maybe when we're just generally physically distancing ourselves and we're in our homes with those who we live with. What are some really good habits for mental health?
I used to be a palliative care chaplain and I spent, understandably then, my work life in a hospital.
Right.
And when people having an operation or a procedure, the family will be in a waiting room and they do nothing basically. They just sit there waiting.
Yeah.
They can't read, they can't really watch television, they don't talk much, and they're just agitated and they pace. We can't make our homes like waiting rooms in the midst of this, waiting for something to happen. I think we need some sense of a new normal and how to have a new healthy, given that we're going to be at home. So it would mean that, I mentioned it before, that we would limit how much news we watch and how much internet information we take on about the virus. So we say, okay, how am I going to live? And so I would have a schedule for the day if we're at home. If we're a non-worker, the schedule is not going to include paid work, but for those people who are working, it's a bit easier because they've got hours of things that they have to do. All of us, though, we could have a schedule of what's it going to look like to be in this house all day. And the healthiest, it seems, from people who are in very limited spaces is that they actually do a blow-by-blow day, often in half-hour slots. And the first half hour might be, I get up, I have breakfast, and while I'm having breakfast, I'm going to read my Bible. And this is the advantage of things like reading through sections of the scriptures. I'm going to do a chapter a day. Okay, I'm going to start with Mark's Gospel. We've got a number of chapters there. Just a chapter a day. I'm going to read the Bible and I'm going to have breakfast. After breakfast, I've already organised the day before. This is the day that I'm going to ring up 3 people. I'm going to make one now at 9:15, I'm going to make one at 1 o'clock, and I'm going to make one at 4 o'clock. I'm going to do some exercise in there as well. I'm going to have a bit of fun time, and I've got a bit of meal time, and I'm going to have some spiritual time as well. And especially if I live with other people, I'm going to put these segments in, and so I organise my day and make it feel like, oh, I've done something today. I haven't just sat here in a waiting room worrying, is it going to come and get me? Because that's really destructive. How is that sounding?
Yeah, that sounds good. Why are things like exercise and fun time important?
Yeah, I think our sense of well-being, because we're whole people, we're physical, we're mental, we're emotional, we're relational. We need all those aspects to make us hum. You know, the dreadful idea of watching funny cat segments on YouTube, that actually has a really important place in this. To turn around and say, I might just watch some comedy. Just to get myself out of it. One thing we did in our house is we had pre-dinner drinks with friends on FaceTime.
Oh, lovely.
We got our drinks and we got our peanuts, and we were eating ours and drinking. They were, 40 minutes away. But we had about 45 minutes together of just to chat. And it made us feel like the day had been really different because, we connected with our friends. We knew that we were going to do something fun. We knew it was limited, pre-dinner drinks. I've got friends who do this with family overseas. They have a meal with them at one time during the week. I think that creates a sense that I'm a whole person. I'm not just waiting to see what happens.
Now, for a lot of us, work life is now at home. Some of us
Yes.
are working from home.
Yeah.
We're connecting via screens. We're being entertained via screens.
Yes.
We're doing church life via screens. There's a lot of screens in our day.
Yeah.
Do you have any tips for that?
Well, other than the advice of so many professionals, which says that screen time too late means that this might disrupt your sleep.
Yeah.
I think if we do live with people, it's important for us to actually turn off everything and just connect and be one with someone else.
Sure.
But in these times, I think we probably need to throw out a lot of that because we're in odd times.
Yeah.
We don't want to say, oh, I shouldn't be on the screen so much. If we're locked in our houses, we need to have some connection with people. And I also think, can we have a connection with our neighbours? Not too close, but we can talk from our verandas to people. In apartments, we sometimes can talk to other people, like they've done in Italy and in Spain. And I think that could be a healthy connection for us. The idea too, I think, of a spiritual routine in the midst of it all. To turn around and say, you know, hopefully I'm a person who's part of this church community and I've been ringing people. So what am I going to do? I'm going to pray for them. And I'm not going to just do one phone call. I'm going to ring up and next Tuesday I'm going to ring up as well. But in between time, I might have jotted down a couple of things when I was talking to them on the phone and they said that they're quite worried because next week they have to have an appointment with someone.
Right.
Well, pray about it on that day.
Sure.
And then either just text them on that day and say, I prayed for you.
Yeah.
Or ring them up and say, I'm praying for you today. So we still are entwined in each other's lives in a really meaningful way. So God willing, when all this finishes and COVID-19 just slips into history, our church communities actually will be better because we will have learned how to connect with one another in a way where we were really present in the midst of hard times.
I'm really looking forward to establishing some new routines, maybe some new hobbies. I know there are a bunch of non-screen needed things that I've been wanting to do for ages. All these books I've been dying to read and maybe paint more. Are there any things for you that you'd like to do in this period?
Well, I've often written poetry, so I've decided to write. I've been doing some gardening, just having that no pressure to get out and do anything. I'm seeing it as a bit of a holiday from normal life and thinking I can read more than I've ever read before.
That's right.
Yeah. So it's kind of taking the most of the opportunity.
Yeah. Well, we'll share notes in a few months then.
And we'll see what we've learned.
Yeah, that's right. Thanks, Baz.
Okay, thank you.